Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC, a weekly podcast and YouTube channel discussing everything Wrexham from the point of view of long-term fans and brand new fans like my wife. So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome back to episode 23 of 2023.
And it's not episode 23 of 2023, it's episode 1 of 2023.
Wow.
But it's episode 23 of all of them. Anyway, let's move on. I should have just shut up, to be perfectly honest. Yes, episode 23, the first one of 2023. So,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to
everybody. Did you have a good Happy New Year?
It was all right. Yeah, it was okay.
We were home by 10:30.
We were home by 10:30, yeah, we were.
We are so old.
Yeah, no, it was nice though. It was nice.
Yeah.
Celebrated this, me, you and our little boy.
Yeah.
He stayed up till midnight,
we
didn't
didn't
he?
really celebrate though. It was like, yay.
Yeah. Anyway. So, the Solihull game has literally just finished.
Yes.
So we purchased that from National League TV.
Yep.
I have to say, before we sort of crack on with talking about the game, the games that we've bought,
yes,
which 2. This was our second game on National League. Eastleigh was the other game that we bought.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest. I know a few people have had some issues. Mm-hmm. We've had 0 issues with it, have we? At all.
No.
We've streamed 2 games. 0 buffering, 0 frozen screens. It's been perfect for us.
It just looks like it's being streamed from live on BT Sport or whatever.
It does. I mean, the commentator today was a little bit boring. I'll be honest. Whoever he was,
I think I zoned out of the commentary.
He wasn't the best. The Eastleigh guys, they were pretty good. I think they were BBC Radio Solent. The one today wasn't great, was he?
Yeah, maybe he was still hungover from his New Year activities.
Maybe. No, but I've been quite impressed with it. Although I've got a few issues with National League TV as a whole, I think all in all, the quality of it, I think has been spot on, to be honest. I've noticed a few people on sort of Facebook and Twitter complaining about it buffering.
Are those international fans, or is that people in...
No, they were people from the UK were complaining about it buffering and all that sort of stuff. From my experience, I would guess that's probably more to do with their broadband than it is the actual National League TV stream.
Yeah.
Because it's been nothing but sweet as a nut for us, has it?
The whole 2 games that we watched.
No, it's been all right.
Yeah, we haven't had a bad experience with it yet.
No,
so
we'll talk a little bit more about National League TV a little bit later on. But so
let's talk about the Solihull game.
Yeah, what did you make of it?
It was very intense.
Did you? You liked it?
Well, I did, because I thought, well, obviously we won 2-1.
Yes.
So we didn't come away with a clean sheet, but we came away with 3 points, which is good.
Yeah.
I always wondered what clean sheet meant, but I do know now.
Now you know.
I know. So I thought the before we scored our goal, I thought we were on it. But then once we scored our first goal, I felt that we were more, we were defending quite a lot at the other end of the pitch on their goal. We were
quite open once we'd scored. They sort of got their backs up a little bit, didn't they? Once we'd scored, and they were very much put the pressure on us. And to be fair to them, they give us a game. If I'm honest, I think the game today was the game I was sort of expecting on Boxing Day.
Okay.
Quite tight. Both teams having a few chances. You know, we were on top, then they were on top, and then it was a little bit scrappy, and then we pushed on, they pushed. You know, that's what from games of old against Solihull.
Yeah.
That is the sort of game I was expecting on Boxing Day. So for me, it was a little bit of a shock when it was. I mean, the first half an hour was sort of like that.
Yeah.
But then we just we were already in the ascendancy before they got their red card. All right, we got 3 goals.
Are you talking about the Boxing Day game?
Yeah.
I was going to say there was no red card in this one.
And you know, we pushed on and we got more goals. Yeah. But today was sort of more what I expected.
Yeah.
You know, they're a tough team to sort of break down I'll be honest, I am still quite surprised with the amount of games that they are losing, and they are sort of tumbling down the league a little bit. I mean, they've lost their last, obviously, 2 in a row because we beat them twice.
I think, in the last 5 games, not including the one today, they've won 1 game. They've lost all the others. They've even drawn. They've literally lost.
Yeah, so they're not doing amazing at the moment.
Which is obviously good for us.
Yeah, they had a little boy missing as well, didn't they? In the Solihull team.
A little boy. I was thinking, what?
So,
Joe Sabara wasn't playing again.
No, he wasn't. So he's got a bit of an ankle injury.
Talking of injuries, Mendy.
Oh, hang on. I wanted to talk a bit more about little Joe Sabara first.
You talk about... I know how much you like little Joe Sabara.
I do. I think he's great. And you've heard a couple of rumours, haven't you? The reason he's not been playing against us...
Coming to Wrexham.
...is because he's signing for us in January, which, I'm not sure.
It's January, the transfer window is open, so there's going to be loads of rumours. There'll be a rumour that, Frank Lampard's coming back into football and he's going to be playing for Wrexham at some point.
It doesn't really affect National League to National League, though, the transfer window.
No.
But again, we'll talk about the transfer window a little bit later on.
Okay,
but
we're ahead of ourselves, aren't we?
We are. I think they missed him massively. They missed him on Boxing Day. They miss his sort of creativity, and which I said in the last episode. They missed it again today. They had a couple of decent performances. Solihull, but I think they just missed that little bit of a flair.
Do you think that Dallas and Sabara kind of, they are there and they bounce off each other like Paul Mullen and Ollie Palmer do? Yeah,
a little bit different. I wouldn't necessarily compare them to Paul and Ollie as such. I would compare them a little bit more to sort of Rodriguez and Langstaff at Notts County, in the sense of
Langstaff's coming to Wrexham as well.
Is he? Everyone's coming to Wrexham, aren't they?
I'm not joking. Everybody's going to a bigger team.
Yeah, because you've got that a midfielder, which is like Sabara is, and a striker, and they sort of feed. Okay. Sabara feeds Dallas. That's why Dallas, in my opinion, has scored as many goals as he has this season. He's their top scorer. Mm-hmm. He didn't show any of that, did he, against us, really, of why, if you had to pick it, without knowing the stats, and if you had to pick somebody out who was their top scorer, I'm not sure it would have been him I'd have picked, to be honest. I might have guessed him because he's the striker, but...
He did have a few chances today, but he didn't really...
I don't think he really showed much. And I think his game suffers a lot when Joe Sabara isn't there. Do we have the same sort of thing at Wrexham, that sort of pairing? I suppose you would sort of look at maybe it'd be more like the Elliot Lee position is sort of Joe Sabara. Yeah. And then, Dallas is like Mullin in a way. Not playing styles, I'm not comparing them.
Just
positionally. But I wouldn't necessarily say all of Mullin's goals come from Elliot Lee in the way that Dallas's come from Sabara, or Langstaff's tend to come a lot from Rodriguez. Yeah. We don't really have that sort of setup. But yeah, that's the sort of... when we discuss a point and we discuss it for so long, I can't remember what the point was and where this actually came. Oh yeah, little
Joe Sabara.
Little Joe Sabara. Yeah. Anyway, I think we've spent enough time talking about him. Well, I have. He was missed for them hugely. Yep. And
that's it now. We don't play them again now this season.
We're done with them. We're done with them. He scored 3 times against us last season. So the fact he's been injured for both games, a little bit of a godsend, and I think, it's decent to get 6. If you'd have said to me at the start of the season, look, you're going to play Solihull twice and you're going to get 6 points from them, I'd have taken that all day long. Anyone would. Because we only took 2 off them last season, so I would have thought, we've definitely progressed as a team to be taking 6 points off somebody like that. I kind of
think we've definitely progressed since last season. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We just got someone in front of us again, haven't we, at the moment? Just for now.
Well, yes.
Yeah, because Notts County obviously drew their game. They played on the Sunday.
Sunday the 1st, New Year's Day.
They played on New
Yes.
Year's Day.
Don't even know what day it is today.
No, not a clue. I'm completely lost.
Well, we're back at work tomorrow, so we need we need to make sure that we know what day it is.
So Notts County obviously dropped points. They played Oldham.
They did, and everybody was kind of like, no, you know, they were quite negative towards Oldham. You know, they were like, whatever, you know, they're not gonna pull it out the bag. But I think it was a close game, and obviously in the end,
very close,
exactly.
Yeah, as close as it can get.
So you should never ever write off a team.
No, we struggled against them away as well, didn't we, ourselves? So you know, it's a tough place to go, Oldham. I think, you know, it's I don't know,
it's a scary place to go.
Yeah, you didn't like it, did you?
I was a bit scared.
Yeah, no.
Because you told me not to wear my hat. So, yeah, that's why I was a bit like, why can't I wear my hat? So, yeah.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, the Notts County have dropped points. We're ploughing on.
2 points behind them now, are we?
We're 2 points behind with a game in hand.
Which is always good. But you always say that you would rather have the points than a game in hand.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You know,
and I'm sure you're probably not the only person that
No, the
that.
points for me are always better than the games in hand. You just want the points in the bag. You don't want to go, oh, it's all right because we got a game in hand if we win that. There's always, you know, will we win it? You know, good chance we'll win that game in hand. But the sentence always has if we win that game. There's always an if. I think
that's an if for every single game.
It is. So it's like, you know, you just want to keep doing what you're doing. You know, the game. I think the score flattered them a little bit more than it should have, really, because they scored late on. Which we were a little unsure whether that was a Howard own goal and they were going to give it to that guy who sort of cut across. I'm not 100% sure about that one at the moment.
I'm confused by this own goal malarkey because when obviously we watched it and they did the replay, it went through it. For me, it looked like it just went through his legs, which
no, it didn't. It hit him on the right leg. It hit him on the right leg,
and then bounced through his leg.
Went in. So it just depends where that ball was going when it hit his leg. Right. So if it was missing so the rule for an own goal is if somebody has a shot and it takes a massive deflection off somebody, so it's going in that corner, it hits someone and it ends up in the other corner. If that initial shot was on target, the goal is still awarded to the person who took the shot.
Okay.
If the shot that he was taking was going wide and it hits a defender and goes in, that's an own goal.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Or that guy who played for Leicester the other day. Oh,
we had some bad luck on that game.
They're own goals because the ball isn't going in. So if the ball's already going in and you deflect it and it still goes in, the guy taking the shot gets it.
I get you.
So it depends where that ball was going, which it wasn't very clear. It definitely hit Howard and went in, but it just depends where the ball was going before it went in.
Disappointing though, wasn't it? I mean, you know, Howard did, you know, he scored. He didn't score any goals.
No.
He saved quite a few.
He made some very good saves, I thought. First half particularly, he made 2 decent saves. There was one where that lad took out a shot from about 25, 30 yards. And it was dipping. You even said, oh, that was going in. If
he hadn't have with his hand
pushed that one over the bar, he saved another one from quite close range.
Yeah,
I think as a goalkeeper, I would have thought they were all quite comfortable-ish saves. I don't think any of them he would have thought, oh, I pulled one out of the bag there.
Pulled a worldie.
No, I don't. I think they were all comfortable-ish for him, but still got to make them, haven't you? Still got to make them saves, and he did. And I think he played all right, to be honest. I think he'd be quite annoyed that he didn't get the clean sheet.
I think that he, he would be quite annoyed with himself. But I think that this game, you know, even though obviously he did allow the goal in, then allowed it.
I will allow that to pass.
You may go. Or it went in, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that he actually probably worked harder this game than he probably has for a few of the games because obviously our defensive team and all that jazz. I was trying to sound really thingy then. Our defensive midfielders are really good. No, but I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
No,
basically,
mate,
I do know what I'm saying, but basically, our defence team, our defence players play so well, but he's not needed to do as much work. But today,
I get you.
Yeah.
I
hope you lot do, because
I didn't get you.
You get me because you've been married to me for nearly 10 years.
Even that was a stretch for me for a minute. I'll be honest. So what you're saying is defensively, we've played quite well.
Defensively, that's the word I was trying to come out with.
Not our defensive team.
Our defensive team.
Defensively, we played quite well. Kept people to minimal shots, and he hasn't had a lot to do.
But today
he had a bit to do.
Yes.
And he stepped up to the mark and he did it.
Yes. Thank you.
Translated
by Ryan. Thank you.
So I agree. I think he was called upon today.
He earned his wages today.
And he did his job, you know, and you can't really ask much more. I think like I said, I think he'll be disappointed by their goal.
Do you think Parky will be disappointed? Do you think he'll get a rollicking?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was a clear mistake, their goal. I think it was just one of them things. I think everyone, as a defensive, because I was a defensive player, obviously.
I'm not sure whether Ryan's mentioned that before.
You're an idiot. But, you always want that clean sheet. You're always, even if you're 5-0 up, you don't want to be letting a goal in, because...
or an own goal.
As a whole team... The aim is to win, yeah. But
Obviously.
if you're breaking it down into sections of the field, you're attacking players. If you win 5-0, but you don't score, there's a tinge of disappointment in there. Okay, yeah. But and then as defensive players, even if you win 5-1, and you let that one in, there's that tinge of disappointment that you haven't, because that's a personal thing, The personal thing from the attacker is you haven't done your job because you're there to score.
Yes.
Defensively, you haven't completely done your job because you've let them score one.
My word of the week.
What?
Defensively.
Defensively.
I like that word.
Not tinge.
No.
Okay.
I can't really use that. Oh, mind you, what can I use the word defensively in? I'm very much defensively against that, Ryan.
You could use tinge. If someone asks you in work if you want any milk in your tea, I'll have a tinge of milk.
I know, everyone knows how I like my tea.
Yeah, I know, because you can't get off your bum and make it yourself.
I've got a bad leg.
Anyway, so you mentioned injuries. You sort of touched on that. So Mendy went off after 22 minutes.
Do we know what he injured?
No, he seemed to be walking okay, but just a little bit gingerly, I think.
That's another nice word.
Yeah, maybe just a tinge of an injury. I don't know.
Defensively, it was very gingerly.
Anyway, let's put them words out the way now. But no, he seemed to be walking okay. Something had obviously gone.
Yes.
It was, I think when he was out for 6 or 7 weeks, it was hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I hope it's not that again.
It could well be.
But you said he was walking.
He looked like he was walking
okay.
But when he went off last time, it looked quite similar to that. Like, because he was, he wasn't really limping last time. I think, was it the Barnet game that he got injured last time?
I think so.
I think it might have been, and he was obviously out for 6 or 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
My initial feeling is it's the same sort of thing.
Reoccurring injury.
Yeah, which is
fingers crossed it's not going to be as bad and he won't be out for as long, because I think even though I love McFadzean and I think he's a great player, I think it's good to mix that position between the two. But I think, when McFadzean came on, I think he held his own and he did his job again. He was quite good. He earned his wages again today.
He did.
I think they all earned their wages today.
Yeah. So get well soon, Jacob. Whatever's wrong, hopefully
I'm sure we'll hear about it.
Long. I wanted to talk about Elliot Lee. What did you think of him today?
Yeah, it was all right.
I love your little.
Well, the old I want a technical thingy from you, Sean, is...
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I think he played quite well defensively, and there was a tinge of...
I personally think he's very much starting to hit his stride, and I think he's controlling, big periods of games, and I think he's very much... I think this is what you get from Elliot Lee when he gets regular football, and... that's obviously with Jordan out at the moment. That's what you're getting. You're getting regular football.
What do you think happens when Jordan's back fit and
let's leave that for another time, because at the moment it's working well. And sometimes you just forget players who aren't there. So I think with Jordan being out long-term-ish, let's just focus on what we've got. And I think Elliot Lee is doing very well at the moment. When Jordan comes back, I don't know, if I'm honest. I think if Lee stays in this rich vein of form that he's in,
Yep.
I think it's very hard for anybody to get him out of that team, even somebody as loved as Jordan Davis. So let's say he carries on playing, this way. I think we're going to see Lee in that position until the end of the season. Don't know. I don't know.
Don't quote me on it.
Don't quote me on it.
Don't quote me on it.
No, but I very much. I think he's very much dictating play at the moment, and I think he's making us tick over. I think he was our man of the match today for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. I think he was good. I would like to see him getting more goals though, because he's definitely got goals in him. I just don't think he's quite scoring to the level
He should be.
that he should be.
Yeah.
He is unfortunate at times. He's getting shots on target. They're getting blocked. The keeper's pulling out some great saves at times. Just want to see him get a few more goals, I think. And then he's had a perfect all-round player, I think.
I'm going to be a bit controversial. Go against you, basically.
Okay.
It's not controversial, but
yeah.
my man of the match would be Luke Young today.
Okay.
Even though he got a yellow card, his 5th yellow card, which is a bit 6 if you include the one from the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
But I think, the position that he's playing at the moment, I think it definitely suits him.
Perfect.
More than...
Perfect. I think for me, it was between 2 players today. Luke Young wasn't one of them. He played very well. If it was
literally thought you were going to say Luke Young and Elliot Lee.
If it was between 3, it would have been him as well. I would say it was between Elliot Lee and Tom O'Connor for me.
Yeah, Tom O'Connor's. Yeah, he is playing well actually. Tom O'Connor.
Yeah, he is playing really well, and I would say it was a great free kick, by the way.
Yeah,
brilliant free kick, and I knew that's where it was going to go. I was just hoping he was going to place it perfectly, and he did, to be fair. But I think he's starting to look like the player that we thought we'd signed when he first came. Because I remember watching, I found out we'd signed Tom O'Connor, it was like, who's Tom O'Connor? I don't know Tom O'Connor. I know that Tom O'Connor as that comedian guy.
5, 3, 2, 1. That one.
No, that's Ted Rogers.
No,
Yeah. No.
Take your pick.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he did take your pick.
And he's Irish as well.
He is, yes. And that's the only Tom O'Connor I knew. So I was furiously sort of Googling him, watched a few videos on YouTube of him, and he looked a great player. And he's never really shown that since he's come to us. He's had a couple of injuries, and I think that sort of knocked him a little bit. Because for me, I think he took a bit of a gamble going from sort of League One down to the National League when he was already a decent player in League One. I think it was a bit of a gamble for him. Then he was in for a few games. He got injured quite early on. Mm-hmm. So he was out for a while. And then when he came back, he didn't really do much. And for me, I was wondering if maybe he thought, I've taken this gamble. I've got injured. I'm not in the team anymore. Have I absolutely
wrecked my chances?
Wrecked my career as such? Yeah. Because now I'm sat in the National League on the bench and I can't even get a game in the National League when I was in League One. And I just wondered if that was sort of going through, because, he's quite a young lad as well.
Yeah.
And I just wondered if that had gone through his mind.
Maybe.
Parky sort of changed the way that we play, which we talked about last week.
Yep.
I think now Tom O'Connor is very much the player that I thought he was going to be when he came. And I thought, again, he was excellent today. He was excellent last week. And I think we've now got, well, I'll ask you, the team that played the team that played today, minus Mendy, obviously, let's just swap Mendy for McFadden and just say that's the way it is.
Yep.
The same team that played last week.
Boxing Day, yep.
Is that our team now? Are we set on? Is that it, or is there somebody fighting their way into that team?
No, No, I think we are obviously unfortunate with John Davis, but I just think that I think
that's our starting 11.
I think
for
that's
you.
starting. Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously we've got Coventry on Saturday.
Yeah. Would you? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I mean, what would you? What about James Jones?
Oh, I love James Jones.
Yeah, I know you do, but this is the question. The starting 11.
Do I like James Jones over Elliot Lee?
No, not Elliot Lee. I'd say probably maybe Tom O'Connor.
Mate, I don't know, because James Jones is bloody good.
He's
a little fireball.
Yeah, I like James Jones a lot. I like the way he plays, and I like the energy that he brings. For me, we keep it as it is at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think, but yeah, what I'm saying is maybe that the team that played today, minus Mendy, obviously, starting 11, and then maybe to give Tom O'Connor a little bit of a breather, bring in James Jones maybe just for the last 20 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, which sort of
depending on how ahead we are.
Yeah, but we're bringing Jones on when we're settled in a game. We're a couple of goals up. We're taking Lee off and we're bringing Jones on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a little bit more. Elliot Lee's never going to be known for his defending ability, so I think it just solidifies that midfield a little bit and just makes us a little bit harder to break down. But I mean, there's an argument to say the best form of defence is attacking, isn't it? So you keep your attacking player out there to keep the ball up that end of the pitch. But it gives James Jones some game time. Is it giving him enough game time? Is he going to be happy with that?
This is the problem, isn't it? It's like you're gonna upset somebody who's not getting enough games.
Competition for places is great, but it's also can have quite a detrimental effect on some players as well. James Jones has been playing week in, week out, and now all of a sudden Tom O'Connor's found. Parky's found the position for Tom O'Connor. He's really playing well. What do? You can't disrupt a winning team, but then at the same time you've got players going, well, where's my game? Where's my game time?
I get that, but don't because we're all everybody's hopefully on the same page that we want to promote. So you'd think that the guys who have played games, who are not always in the first 11 all the time, when they have to take a step back and they're on the bench or they're not on the bench, they're just do you think that they should have the mindset that Parky is doing this for the greater good? So they've got to try and not take it personally.
Totally, but that's all.
I mean, I would totally take it personally. I would be so annoyed.
It's quite hard not to, though.
Yeah, it is. But then, I mean, I think you've got to be made of strong stuff not to take it personally.
You do, but that's being a professional sportsman, isn't it?
It's just be professional. Anything, you've got to try not to take it personally.
Yeah, you have.
Just cry when you're in bed at night.
Scream into your pillow.
Exactly. Go to a deserted hill and scream.
A deserted hill.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Ooh, the old deserted hill. Anyway, news. What we got?
Floodlights.
Oh,
so we've had. I was reading the news the other day on the Wrexham website, and there was this big, massive article about the floodlights, and I was like. I'll read a little bit of it, but I basically copy and pasted it and sent it to you, didn't I? I said, put that in the news, Ryan.
Read that
and put it in the news. But basically, part of the cop needs demolishing before the foundations of the start, which I think should be done by the end of February.
Yeah, so where the floodlights are going, there's a bit of the cop in the way, basically. So that part of the demolition has got to take place before they can set the footings for the new floodlights. They can't take the current floodlights down until the new floodlights are ready. So I think
will literally be playing in the dark.
Yes. So what they're looking at is by the end of the season, I think they're hoping to have both sets of floodlights
they said by the
running,
end of May,
and then you've got your option there of what you want to do. Use them ones, use these ones, but that's the plan. So we should have new floodlights by the end of the season, ultimately. But the reason...
I didn't know this.
Didn't you?
No.
Well, a lot of people might be wondering, why do we even need new floodlights? Because...
How old are those floodlights?
Oh, they're old. So our floodlights are quite iconic. They're massive. They're huge.
So we're getting bigger ones.
Yeah. So everyone knows these floodlights.
Yeah.
And
you can see them for miles.
Yeah, you can. But the reason that we have to have new floodlights is that the point of the COP redevelopment is that we want to host international matches at the racecourse. Now, to host international matches, you have to have a minimum of 1,500 lux on your floodlight.
I'm sure there are a lot of electricians out there that know what that means.
Yeah, but I'm not up on lux, but you have to have 1,500 lux. Now, the current floodlights we have are not capable of providing that. Hence, we need new floodlights.
I mean, it baffles me because they seem pretty damn bright when they're on a Tuesday in the night time.
They do, but obviously, there's obviously brighter ones and better ones, and that's what we need. And if it's,
do you think it's a because obviously with the energy prices and that hiking up at the moment, do you think it's also a cost-saving exercise?
Maybe.
Or do you think it's purely because we need them for international games?
It hasn't been stated as a cost-saving exercise.
No.
It's purely been stated as it's been required for international games.
If you need any cost-saving exercises, you can speak to my dad because he's just full of them.
Other stuff in the news, we'll talk about it a little bit more and I'll look ahead to 2023. But as Sian alluded to, the transfer window is open at the moment. Open. So I thought I'd take this opportunity just to explain how the transfer window works. We are obviously aware we have a lot of new fans who listen and watch this podcast, and not just new to Wrexham, but new to football in the same way that Sian is as well. So in the UK, we have transfer windows. So the transfer window opens on the 1st of January, and it closes at the end of January. Sometimes it might go over by an extra day, depending if it falls on a Sunday or something like that.
Yeah.
But for the purpose of this, it's the 1st until the 31st of January. Within that time, players can be bought and sold for a fee. So could
they be sent out on loan as well? Or is it just literally buy and
sell? Yeah, they can be, But and then so clubs will get together, go, we want that player. They go, okay, we want this much for him, and they go, he's not worth that much. All the negotiation stuff's done. Yeah. Agreeing personal terms with players, and that's done in January.
Can a player refuse?
He can do, but what would be the benefit of that to him if he wants to stay? But the club wants to sell him. If they go, no, you're more than welcome to refuse. But if you stay here, we're not going to play you.
That's worrying, though, isn't it? With our players like Paul Mullen and
Yeah, but they could refuse, but generally they don't, because they know players know how it works. They know how it works. That if they
refuse, they could potentially be.
Yeah, they could be just
stop to their career.
Yeah,
maybe.
It could be. Yeah, so it doesn't generally happen. There's another transfer window which comes in at the end of the season when there's no games, and then that runs until the end of. I don't know. I'm looking at you.
I literally just got to say, why are you looking at me? I've
and that runs until about the end of August, and then the window closes, and then you're not allowed to buy or sell players. However, everyone in the National League. Starting this season, for Wrexham anyway, they can buy and sell players whenever they want. There is no transfer window for Wrexham. But it just gives clubs lower down.
We've got to have some benefits, haven't we?
Yeah, a little bit of a helping hand in that area. Yeah. So there's no transfer window for clubs in the National League. The reason why the transfer window is important to Wrexham, forget everyone else, who cares about everyone else? The reason the transfer window is important to us is really we're not looking to sign players from the National League. We're looking to sign players from the leagues above us, so League 2 and League 1. Now, if we were buying a player from Barnet, for example, in the National League, we could go and buy that player. Barnet, if the money was right, Barnet would probably sell them, because Barnet know they can look around the National League and buy somebody to replace that player. And that's how it works, because there's no transfer window.
Yeah.
But if Wrexham went to, I don't know, Plymouth, or they went to Wigan, or they went to a team in League One or a team in League Two and said, oh, I want to buy that player off you, we will offer really good money. If that player currently plays week in, week out for them, if they were to sell that player to us, because their transfer window isn't open, they've got no way of replacing that player until the transfer window opens for them. So that is why it's important to us, because we're looking at a different caliber of player.
Yeah.
So the transfer window, even though it doesn't apply to us, it sort of does, because of the players that we're looking at. If that makes sense. Does that make sense to you?
Makes sense to me, I think.
Yes. So because of who we're going after, the transfer window applies to them clubs. So, if it's, it sort of applies to us as well.
So
really.
Basically, if we were just wanting to buy, like you said, somebody from
the National League,
then we can do that whenever we feel like it.
Yeah.
But because obviously we want people...
We could still buy a player from League One, but outside of the transfer window. But my point here is, they can't replace that player
until the window opens.
So
they're
never
likely
to
to.
They're never going to sell to us.
Yeah.
So that's how it sort of works. Very long-winded, but anyway, there you go. So something else from the news this week. We've been in the newspaper again.
We haven't been in the newspaper. We've been on the online paper.
Yes.
Because we bought the paper and we weren't in it. So
the Leader did a little story about us, didn't they?
Aaron Von Evans.
Yes.
Yes, kindly did another article. He previously did the article when our now American friends CJ and DJ came over. They interrupted their honeymoon to come over, so we had an article in the newspaper for them.
Yeah.
And then this one was just basically kind of like an update, our journey so far and all that kind of stuff. And what came off the back of that, Ryan?
Off the back of that, Mr. Ryan Reynolds started following us on Twitter.
I nearly wet myself.
Jan did nearly wet herself. She said she nearly wet herself. I think you might have wet yourself. No,
I was ever so excited.
Yes. So so Ryan Reynolds has started following us, which is great. It's amazing, and we're really excited by that. I mean, there's no benefits or perks to that, is there? But it's just nice.
Well, I mean, he's a Hollywood star, so I think
we can start absolutely tagging him in everything, and he's going to see it, isn't he?
I tag him in everything anyway.
I know you do, yeah.
Obviously, he has liked a few of our tweets.
Yes.
But getting him to follow us, oh my God, it was just an amazing end to 2022.
Exciting.
It is exciting. Just need Rob now.
Yeah, we do need Rob. Rob, if you're listening, No, I don't know if he is listening. But if you could follow us, that would be great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Start some dialogue. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat. See what's going on.
Let's have a chat.
Looking forward to 2023, because last week we looked back at 2022, so it seemed the logical thing to do to look forward to 2023 this week.
It's one of the questions actually that Aaron asked us.
Yeah.
What are our hopes for 2023?
Yeah, and we basically said, we're doing, it's all going really well for us, isn't it? It's nice. It's ticking along. We've got a lot of people who get in touch regularly. Yeah,
we have our regulars.
We do, and we'd like to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. In 2023, I'm hiccuping. It's all going on. We'd like to get to 1,000 subscribers. That would be amazing.
By the end of 2023, yeah.
Just keep growing.
That's what you want, isn't it? Just to keep growing.
We do, and we want to do some interviews with people, and hopefully we'll get some of them sorted very soon.
We do have somebody in the pipeline.
Yes, somebody is in the pipeline, so
it's very exciting.
You just keep an eye out for that one.
Yes.
We'll let you know. We've just been talking about the transfer window. Do you see any areas that you think we need to strengthen within the team?
Goal.
Yeah?
Goal.
Goalkeeper.
Really?
No,
I don't know. No, do you know what? I mean, I'm not professing to be an amazing expert on the whole thing, but I think currently at the moment, I think, like you mentioned before, I think this is our team. But I do think that lots of comments of what people have been saying is that we need to make our defence or midfield more stronger, or
maybe we need a little bit of strength in there, but I think we found our formation now, and I think anybody that you're bringing in as a backup, because I think we've very much found our starting 11 now.
And talking of them being a backup, do you think that people that get approached by I don't know who approaches them, whether it is Parky or whether it's Sean,
is
probably. It he the one? Whether they know from the outset that possibly I'm not going to get as many games as I'm getting at the moment, but there is the chance of being a part of this team going up to the next league.
It's about a journey, isn't it? And it's whether you're going to get,
because I think that's what a lot of, like Ollie Palmer, I think he said it, Paul Mullen said it, Mendy has even mentioned it, that the fact that they were in higher league teams.
Mendy wasn't.
Okay, well, Ollie Palmer and what's his it is about the journey for them, and it is about being a part of history, basically, because it is.
Well, hopefully.
No.
Well, talking about that though, where do you see us? Let's forget that you're a Wrexham fan.
Okay.
Look at it subjectively.
Not sure I can, but yeah.
Yeah, I know it's quite hard.
It's hard.
Looking at it, looking at the league, looking at the form, looking at everything. How do you see the end? What the end of the season? What does it look like? Do you think?
Us getting automatically promoted.
Yeah.
I think if we keep playing, because
comfortably, or nip and tuck all the way.
I think it's going to be a bit to and fro in between Notts County and ourselves. But I think after not watching it, but after seeing the goals from the Oldham game yesterday, I think it's starting to maybe come undone for them.
Yeah.
And I think that we are in a position where we are getting stronger and stronger and stronger, especially with the team that we've got.
We just need to keep the pressure on, I think.
Yeah, and I think we are. And I think the fact that, we've always had issues with away games. We're totally nailing most of our, 15 consecutive wins now, is it, at home?
Yes.
So, I think we've got that pretty much nailed on.
Yeah.
And it was, we did have to focus on winning away games.
Yeah.
And I think now, with the team that we've got, I think that we're pretty much there. So I think, we have got the best chance with the team that we've got to nail the top spot at the end of the season.
No, I'll go with that.
My honest opinion.
Okay, just another two things.
God, I sounded so
I know.
Knowledgeable. I did, didn't I?
You did, perfectly.
Yeah.
Quick answers. I just want quick answers for this, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, stop talking, Sean.
No. Just want quick answers. FA Trophy. Where are we getting with that?
Who are we playing? Oh,
no.
Coventry.
Looking ahead.
We'll get knocked out by Coventry.
FA Trophy. I said.
Oh, sorry. We'll get through the next round.
What? Looking ahead. Where are we gonna?
I don't want to look ahead for those two things because I don't like them.
I think we'll win the FA Trophy this year. I'll answer sensibly.
Is that the one where we lost against Grimsby last year?
We didn't lose against Grimsby.
Who did we play?
At Wembley.
Yeah.
Bromley.
No, it wasn't.
Was it? I can't remember.
Oh my God.
Bromley, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Bromley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we'll win that. FA Cup. I think we'll shock Coventry, and I think we'll go out in the next round against someone big.
You think?
Yeah. That's my plan. Okay, you heard it here first.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Coventry. Let's run through Coventry quickly. So, for anybody who doesn't know, Coventry are in the Championship. They're currently 13th in the Championship at the moment. They've only won once in the whole of December.
You are taking my...
I'm taking it.
You're taking
You're a waffler. Let's get through it. No, they've only won once in December. They drew on New Year's Day against Bristol City.
They did. That was a home game, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So it's a weird one, the Championship. It's quite condensed and tight. So they're 13th, which they are 3 points off the playoffs. So that's Sunderland, who are in 6th, are 3 points above them.
Right.
So 13th to 6th, there's only a 3-point gap. And I think they are 9 points above relegation, which is Blackpool, who are 22nd. So the whole thing's quite tight in there. So yes, they're 13th, but
they finished the season last year, last
12th,
season 12th. So yeah, they are pretty much.
They're 1 win away from the playoffs. There are a couple of bad results from being down in the relegation. It's a tight league, you know. So I think you can't really draw too much for that. We haven't really got any. We can't do stats on how we've played against them recently because they're 1, 2, 3 leagues above us.
So
I
have got their top scorer and their top assist.
Who's their top? Who's their top assister?
Their top assist is Hamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A scorer?
Gio Perez. Gio Perez.
Oh yes, I know.
Is that how you say it?
No, it's not.
Gio Perez.
Yes, I know him anyway. Yeah, he has scored quite a few. He's decent.
Well, he has because he's a top scorer.
No, he's decent. I didn't know what you were saying.
Gio Perez.
Yeah, I thought you were just throwing letters out. No, decent player. Very good player. I'm not sure how Coventry are going to play on Saturday in the sense of, are they going to throw out their full team? Are they going to throw out...
I don't think they will.
Chuck a few youth in, a couple of reserve players, or is it going to be a bit of a mishmash of all of it? I genuinely don't know. But, prediction. Young lady.
Oh, young lady. Haven't been called that for a while. I'm going to go with... See, I don't want to do a Wrexham disservice. So I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to say I think it'll be a 2-1 win to Wrexham.
Dear, I think it'll be. I don't think you actually believe that, but you don't. I know you don't.
No, but I'm being positive. That's my positivity.
That's fine. Be positive.
Yes.
I genuinely think we'll beat them.
Okay.
I've just got this feeling that we're going to beat them. I'm going to go for 1-0. I'm going to go for a sneaky little smash and grab at the end, keep it nice and tight, beat them 1-0 right at the end.
Do you think
that
Parky will put the team out, the same team that he put out yesterday against Solihull Moors?
I think you've got to.
Yeah, I think
you've got to. It's a Saturday. They've got plenty of time to rest, recuperate. Yeah. And, you know, it's a game that you're throwing out there, and you've got to get through. And I think you've got to put your best team out there.
Yeah, but then you've got the chance of them getting injured, and that's what annoys me.
It is what it is. So you're going 2-1, I'm going 1-0. Done.
I'm looking forward to going to Coventry.
I am. They get, for their league
4,500 of us, I think, are going.
Well, for their league games, they get around between 17 and 23,000, depending on who they're playing. The capacity of the ground's 32,000, so they could fit a lot more in there. They just don't fill it. So I've never been there, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I am excited.
A little cheeky away day for the beginning of the year.
Yeah, definitely. One thing just to touch on quickly, we have taken a suggestion on board. We are going to do...
It was my suggestion.
No, somebody got in touch to say that it'd be a good idea.
I thought it was mine. I thought it was just...
Might have been your idea. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to do lessons with Sian, because the thing that is unique about this podcast is...
Me!
Sian.
I am the USP.
Yeah, because every other podcast out there, not just Wrexham podcasts, you know, football podcasts, don't take this the wrong way, but the people who are on them podcasts are people who know what they're talking about. Whereas we've gone for a different angle, haven't we? No, I'm not being horrible, but you're
trying not to be horrible.
I'm trying not to be. The thing that makes us unique is you're brand new. Yeah. You know, so you don't know everything, and you're trying to learn, and we're hoping that will help other new fans who are also trying to learn along at the same time. So what we're going to do week by week is we're going to give you some homework
Yay!
about a subject to learn something connected with the game or the rules of the game or the club or something. You're gonna go away and you're gonna do a little bit of homework, a little bit of research, and then next week we're gonna start and we're gonna talk it through. We're gonna see what you've learned, and then we're gonna see how how much you've sort of understood what you've read up on.
Okay.
And then we'll also discuss the difficulties you had in trying to understand what it is. So this week's subject for you to go away and learn about, I can help you.
Like I haven't got anything else better to do.
Yeah, I know. I know you've got a job and stuff, but this is important.
Yeah.
And so, it's going to be the offside rule.
Oh, crikey.
I think it's a good, important one, and I think it's the rule that everybody who is new to football struggles with the most. Don't get me wrong, we're not professing to be able to help everybody, but we are going to try and get you to explain the offside rule next week. Lessons with Sean, lessons with Sean. Lessons with Sean, lessons with Sean. I don't. Maybe
that needs a bit of work. I think.
Maybe no jingle.
No, maybe no jingle.
So that's your work for this week.
My homework.
That is your homework for this week.
Okay. So not only do I have a quiz, but I've also got.
You can't research the quiz.
No,
just
just
stuff. The quiz. This is actual proper homework. So
the problem we've got is though,
yeah,
I've only got until we record on Sunday, so I haven't got that much time really.
No, just the 6 days. Yes. Come on. I believe in you. You can do it.
Thanks.
So, people who got in touch this week, we had loads. I mean, absolutely loads. We would be here for an hour because the amount of people who wished us a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to us, to our family. It was lovely, and we got so many people who got in touch, and we'd just be here forever. So thank you very much for everybody who got in touch. We tried to reply to as many people as we could. There's just one person I want to mention because he made a valid point. Andy got in touch this week, and he said regarding the 3 p.m. blackout on a Saturday for games, which we talked about last week, he said we didn't really make it clear that it only applies to
you didn't make it clear.
I didn't make it clear.
You didn't make it clear.
It only applies to domestic, not international. So when we were having a little bit of a rant about National League TV, saying, look, the 3 p.m. blackout on Saturday is still in place, and so we're not going to be able to watch them games, so I didn't really see the point, and blah, 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 blah. What I failed to mention was that the 3 p.m. blackout doesn't apply to international fans. So if there's people in America, you would be able to watch a game at 3 p.m. Wouldn't be 3 p.m. for you guys, but anywhere else in the world, you would be able to watch a game at 3 p.m. on a Saturday. It's just a 3 p.m. blackout for the UK.
Yeah.
So it basically what I was annoyed at is we in the UK wouldn't be able to watch the games at 3 p.m. So thank you for that, Andy. And I just thought it was worthwhile just clearing that up for everybody. Just one other who got in touch is Darren. Darren got in touch. He sent us a couple of messages. Darren, I'm going to apologise to you now. A very busy period. I haven't read through them yet, and as you will well know, I haven't replied as yet. So Darren, I am going to make a special point of mentioning you next week and what you've actually got in touch to let us know about, because Darren sends us quite a few messages, and he always takes the time to sort of sit down and ask questions and type messages. So Darren, this is two things. It's an apology, and I will definitely get on it, and I will get back to you shortly.
He did say one thing. He said 5 league fixtures in January for Wrexham.
Yeah.
Obviously just played one of them today.
Yeah.
Predicting 13 points. Would love a clean sweep. But those away days, he's like, those away days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would love to hear your predictions for the coming 5 games. we'll obviously talk about that as we
we'll
as
talk
we go
about
on. But yeah, but we will reply to you, Darren, and thank you so much for taking the time to
get in touch. Yeah.
Also, Matt Waddle got in touch with us as well. He what's this? Blah, blah, blah. I told him to look out for us basically because he was watching it. And then he mentioned as well during the Boxing Day game. He said during the half time, I heard the public address playing the specials.
Yes.
And he said, I don't know if that's just something that you usually play, or was it a tribute to Terry Hall? I'm assuming it was a tribute.
I'm assuming so, because they also played a bit of Faithless, which is a maxi jazz.
But he basically said, it made me happy because I've been a fan of the specials since he was 13.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, yes, so that's...
Thank you very much,
That's
Matt.
another message which we haven't replied back to yet, so we will get...
Yes, we will get there. Well. We will get there. It's been Christmas.
Yeah.
So anyone wants to get in touch, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, email me, the wife, and wrexhamafc@gmail.com.
What's this? Just like trying to prompt yourself.
Yeah, just a quick shout out for Dragon Chat as well. Do it every week. So it's a peer support mental health group. Anybody who's struggling, they can jump onto that. Get onto Facebook or Twitter on a Thursday, and they post all the details of how to get on that. That's a Zoom call. And you can have a chat with some lovely Wrexham fans and get anything you want off your chest. That's amazing. Oh, we're running out of time. So, quiz.
Yep.
Quiz. We'll do a quiz nice and quickly.
Yep.
So, New Year's Day games. Wanted to base it on New Year's Day games. Okay?
Oh my God, yes, Ryan.
So, I tried to make them, even though some of them you possibly won't know.
Yes.
So I've tried to make them a bit more accessible for you in the way the question is asked, if that makes sense.
Do you mean you have the answer in the question?
No, not necessarily.
Because that would make it very accessible for me.
So, Wrexham also played on the 2nd of January in 2022, where they lost 3-1 away to who after Harry Lennon was sent off in the 9th minute while they were 1-0 up?
Solihull Moors.
No, Notts County.
Oh!
So, Wrexham's 2nd of January game 2021 was called off after which club went bust?
Macclesfield.
Well done. 1 point. Wrexham won 2-0 on New Year's Day 2020 away against which team that is an anagram of Holy Wreck? HOLYREC.
Spell it again.
HOLYREC.
Oh, I see. I have to actually look at the anagram. Can you not show me the anagram?
Yeah, I can show you. Holy Wreck.
Holy Wreck. Chorley.
Well done.
Chorley.
That's 2.
Thanks.
Wrexham lost 2-0 away on New Year's Day 2019 to a team they had beat 5-1 at home 6 days earlier on Boxing Day. This team is owned by a consortium of ex-players known as the Class of 92. Salford. Well done.
That's we watched their documentary, haven't we?
Yeah, we have indeed.
Yeah.
And last one, Wrexham drew 3-3 on New Year's Day 2018 against which team that is an anagram of Raw Rob?
Can I have a look?
Yes. Raw
Barrow.
Well done. That's 4 out of 5.
Are you sure?
Is it?
Yeah, I just got... Shocked. How many questions did you have?
5.
And I got 1 wrong.
Well done. That's excellent. I'm shocked.
You'd make such a bad teacher. You're so sarcastic. Well done, little Joe.
Little Joe?
I don't know.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us in 2023.
2023, crikey.
We're loving this, so we're hoping to be around for many years to come.
2093.
29.
I'm not sure how old we'll be then. Dead.
Yeah. But thank you. Oh God, made me choke. Thank you very much, and we will see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.